Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another videos, another paid request. This time for Guillermo. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. It could be a tier list, review, re-review, reaction, commentary, what have you. All links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2007 film Prey. Now, it's weird because I saw that film Beast with Idris Elba, and now that I saw this, it felt like Beast did a remake of this film because it's people going to Africa where someone and a daughter or a girl have this friction with each other, and the teenage girl is making stupid decisions and being a pain in the ass while they're dealing with these killer lions. A chunk of the film is a group of people, actually three people stuck in a truck. It was Idris Elba and the two daughters. Here is Bridget Moynahan, and they're not her daughters, but she's married to their dad. So it's like three people stuck in the truck with lions around them. Here it's about three or so lions, and that one it was like one lion. So I'm like, what the hell? Did they rip off this movie? But not really. I mean, there are differences as well. There's a decent amount of differences. But the plot of this film is Peter Weller is in the movie, which I'm a fan of. Leviathan, RoboCop, Of Unknown Origin, etc. He has a new wife. He has two kids. And you have the younger boy, and you have the older teenage girl. She misses the mom. There's a divorce. She doesn't want to deal along with the new wife of Peter Weller, so she gives Bridget Moynahan a hard time. But they've gone on vacation in Africa. They're also there for Peter Weller's job because he's an engineer overseeing the making of this dam. I will warn people, if you ever see this film, there is real wildlife footage at the beginning of the movie where you see real lions kill a zebra. I don't like that shit because I don't want to see that shit. I did it. It's the wild. That shit happens all the time. I did that. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see it in a movie. Okay? If I'm seeing a movie, I don't want to see National Geographic. I don't want to see a real lion or two or three kill a real zebra. I get it. You put it in there because you want to show how vicious lions are. But you know what? I already knew that. As I don't need to see real lions kill a real zebra. So, if you're not into that, if you don't want to see that, be warned. That is at the beginning of the film. So once again, just like that film Beast, you have a daughter that's bitchy and just unlikable. I'm like, this reminds me of Beast with Idris Elba I just saw. Because like they're having dinner, and someone makes a joke, and Bridget laughs, and the daughter's like, "What's so funny?" Oh, because it wasn't a joke. It was they were having dinner, and the daughter's a vegetarian, and it's like a pig or something, boar, and the daughter said, "I don't eat characters from the Lion King, especially not Pumbaa." So Bridget laughs, and then she tells, "What's so funny? Who the fuck do you think you are, Joe Pesci? You think it's funny, huh? Do I amuse you?" And then Bridget's like, "Well, I was just laughing, and just the daughter being a bitch." And yeah, I get it, because later there'll be stuck, there'll be friction together, and then ultimately they'll overcome, and she'll respect the new mom because she'll do things to help save the kids. I get it. I get it. It's just, they still have a bitchy girl, bitchy daughter. I'm like, shut up. Oh, by the way, Bridget, the lead, Bridget Moynahan, you may remember her as John Wick's wife, showcased in the first two John Wick films. I believe she was also in iRobot with Will Smith, among other movies. So while Peter Will is doing his job, Bridget and the two kids go on this safari with this guide who's driving. And this guy sucks. This guy, if he didn't get killed, he should have been fired from his job because he's shit at his job. Because he goes off road, which is a stupid thing to do in the first place. You only don't get yourself in trouble. So this guy is an idiot. I guess he dies for stupidity. Wins the Darwin Award. And then the kid needs to take a number 2. So the guy gets out, go in the bushes. Hey, there ain't no toilet paper, kid. Use some leaves. And then sees a lion. Now, one thing I would give the film credit is they use real lions. Maybe 1 or 2 brief shots of CG, but it's mostly all real lions. And I commend them for that. Because you cannot get more real than real. It makes you part of the situation. The attacks seem a bit more brutal and vicious compared to Beast. It feels like a bit of a bloodier movie compared with that Idris Elba movie. So I'll give credit for that. But then Bridget does... This is another movie where people do stupid fucking things, man. I know my friend Michael Keane, the Choice Voice, he liked this movie. He liked it a lot more than I did. I was not a big fan of this film. Because I had the same issues that I had with Beast, with Idris Elba. And I don't know which I would like more. Maybe Beast, because it's got more... I don't like either one, to be honest. I guess I would rather choose The Ghost in the Darkness for Killer Lions, I guess. You know, that film I don't love, but I remember not minding it for what it is. I guess, to be truthful, there hasn't been a great Killer Lion movie yet that I've seen. But I guess The Ghost in the Darkness would be the closest. Because Bridget... Okay, the safari guide has a gun. Hey kid, back up. He's slowly going back. He's got the situation under control somewhat. Because the lion is still there. One line is still there. Slowly back up. They're slowly back it up to the truck. Just keep going back. Keep going back. So what does Bridget do? Hey lion, over here. What the fuck is she doing? The lions, you don't piss the lion off, which she does. And where they don't go? Towards the truck, where the guy and the kid are going towards anyway. So you're not even leading them away. You're just saying, hey, get here faster. What the fuck did she do? What was the point of it? The lion just got pissed off and went to the truck that they were going anyway, but now they're running and they're pissed. Bridget, you just escalated the situation. You just made the situation worse. You fucking dumbass. And the movie's so stupid, it doesn't realize what she did was stupid. If it did, someone would go, what the hell were you doing? That was stupid of you to do. No. Instead, the lions get pissed. Instead of slowly walking, as they were to the truck, now they're running full speed to the truck. So then the guy has to get the kid, and the guy dies. So, great, Bridget. You got the guy killed. Because you're fucking stupidity. Because you're a fucking idiot. Over here. Now the lion's gone berserk. Where the guy was leading the kid back slowly. Now, oh shit, we gotta run for it. Because Bridget's a fucking idiot. And then he got killed and eaten. And then really, kind of like Beast, it becomes Cujo, but with lions. If you think about it. Although this one I would say had a bit more shaky cam. I would say that's what Beast did better is... Beast had a better... I would say I like the lead and Beast more with Idris Elba compared to Bridget. I would say Idris Elba... Bridget did fine with her acting, but Idris Elba I thought was better. And also that film had less shaky cam. This had a bit more shaky cam in the attack. And the attack scenes, there was a lot of this going on, which I'm not a fan of. But it does feel a bit more brutal in the death scenes, where there's a lot more blood being showcased compared to Beast, where I barely remember seeing any blood. Now, the film I didn't find scary. There were a lot of times where, okay, here's a lion, and okay, slowly scratching the top of the truck, or there's a lion and just slowly kind of wandering around the front of the headlights. Because it's what the lion does. If the lion's trying to eat you, it's going to actually try to eat you, and because you can't train a lion like that, you could try to be a lion tamer, but good luck with that shit. So it wasn't that scary. A lot of times in the attacks is kind of shaky because it's trying to have up close shots of a lion roaring, and then people and then up close shots of a lion roaring, then trying to edit it that way. And Peter Weller, he's very underused. He finds out his family's missing. He gets help from a guy named Crawford, who throws him out at first. Then he offers a bunch of money, so Crawford does it, and they pretty much go on the trail to find Peter Weller's family. Peter Weller, he probably did this film, I don't know, to be on vacation. There's really nothing for his character to play with, as in there's not much acting, not much development. If you want to see Peter Weller dealing with an animal, go watch Of Unknown Origin. Much, much better, much more interesting movie. Because that's about a guy who has this great lush apartment, is concentrating on his job. His wife and kid leave on a vacation, so he's going to be by himself to try to get this job done. But this is one nuisance in the walls, and it starts off small, where it's chewing through his wiring and doing this and that, and he's doing all these traps. But this rat is so insistent, and incessant that it's driving Peter Weller more and more crazy. It becomes kind of a Moby Dick story, but also more of a story of a guy realizing that his material things don't matter. Because by the end, it's like, fuck the material, fuck this place. I want to kill this thing because if my family comes back, it could hurt my family. And that's what's more important to me. So he gears up, and he's got like a baseball bat with nails and like a trap on each side. It's just tearing through everything. Just fuck the material stuff. It's all about this inner man versus nature. Like, people say I'm looking too deep into it, but I think that film has those elements, and it's just a much better movie compared to this film, and much better usage of Peter Weller in his domain. But just like the teenage girl at times just being more of a douchey, nothing you say is final. Bitch, we're in the middle of a situation. Even Bridget has to go, listen, when we get out of this, we don't have a talk, but... And then they do get the keys, but then apparently Bridget's also a shitty driver. Because she's driving, but she's driving like a monkey on speed. Driving around. Even the kids like, slow down. And I'm saying, yeah, slow down, you don't break the shit. Kind of like the teenage daughter and Beast. But they don't get too far. So maybe just sum it up like they're being attacked and they go like a little bit and they crash. Here, the lines are not on them and they're going for a bit. But she keeps swirling the road like this. Not even the road, but I'm like, calm, wait, stop. Like, calm. She doesn't, and they go off the fucking road, and it makes Bridget look more like a fucking idiot. I'm like, do you know how to drive, lady? You drive as bad as I do. Shit, what are you doing? So there's stuff there. And you don't get much of a discomfort inside the Jeep, unlike Cujo. Like Cujo, you can feel the heat, the exhaustion, the dire circumstance, the suspense of, if we don't get out of here, we'll die. So do we try to get through this killer dog, or do we sit here and suffer more in the heat, and this kid's dying of dehydration, and what do we do? It builds suspense. You don't really have that in this movie. Also, like they'll show the POV of the lions, which have this vision. I do funny. It was funny though, because at one point they show it, and the eyes zoom. Do lions' eyes zoom like a camera? Because I mean, your eyes don't zoom. But like, I'll go to the lion's POV, and then the POV like. I mean, what? His eyes are telescopic? I didn't know lions' eyes are telescopic. I think they only do it in one scene, but it's like, why is the lion's eye zooming in? There's a bit that they find these poachers, kind of like Beast, where that's another thing. They're trapped, and then poachers arrive, just like Beast. They're trapped, and then poachers arrive. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities. It's 3 people stuck in a vehicle. At one point, they start the vehicle up. Then they crash, and they're stuck again. Then there's a point where poachers arrive. And they get eaten. Only this is about 1 or 2 of them. And the lion like crashes through the windshield to grab one and drag one away. Which is a little bit of a brutal scene. Again, the attack scenes do feel a bit more brutal compared to Idris Elba's film. I would say with the daughter character, I probably warmed up to her a bit more compared to Beast. Where when she stopped being a fucking bitch and then started like giving the lady props or such, I warmed up to her probably a little bit more compared to the girl in Beast. But it's still a bit too little too late for this. Until ultimately, spoiler alert, Peter Weller and the guide find them. Now, Bridget's like, let them come to us. I'm sitting there going, you don't warn them, right? Warn them. Warn them. We don't warn them. Hey, by the way, before you come down, there's a fucking lion or 2 or 3 out here. Warn them. Maybe warn them. And then finally you warn them right when a lion is there. I'm like, you could have warned them before. Also, I'm thinking, wait a minute. Why don't you 2 go back to your Jeep and drive the Jeep? You can't drive the Jeep down? Like, stay in the vehicle, we'll get in the Jeep and drive to you. Why don't they do that? Why don't they get in the Jeep and drive towards them instead of walking down? But, you know, again, if Bridget and them had warned them, wait, don't move, there's a fucking lion or 2 or 3 here. Oh shit, okay, we got a Jeep over here. Stay in there, don't move, we'll drive and get you in and then open up the window, we'll carry you through. Or, you know what, open the door, take 10 seconds, get the fuck in, we'll drive the way. Or something like that. But no. Or you know what, we'll park our vehicle, he's got a gun, he'll shoot through the fucking window. No, because you wouldn't have a movie or an ending, I guess. So instead, Bridget doesn't warn them. The other 2 don't get in their fucking Jeep. That literally, you saw like in the background, because the one guy was ready to... Peter and the guide were having an argument, and Peter Weller was going to go back in that Jeep and either steal the Jeep from him or something. But no. Instead, there's one lion, the guy's able to shoot it. I get why CGI is using that, because, you know, you don't want to shoot a real lion. That I could deal with. But then there's another lion that kills the guy. Peter Weller runs, hides under the truck. Because I guess they couldn't open the door in time. Bridget has the idea. Just gasoline. It's leaking. Opens up the back, gets the lion in there while the others escape. She has a lighter, throws it, explosion. She survived. And her and Peter Weller hug. The girl now lights the new stepmom. The movie's over. So, I mean, is it the worst movie I've ever seen? No. Bridget did a fine enough job. The locations, some of the cinematography is pretty decent. Like there's a bit where Peter Weller and the guide are kind of outside, and the background you see the sky and the sun, and it's like an orange sky. Like that's a really good looking shot. So there's some decent shots like that. The musical score was acceptable. I've heard much worse. I mean, it's always nice to see Peter Weller in there, but he's just sadly underused. The little kid, the little boy, thankfully wasn't too irritating or annoying. He might not have been the best actor, but he wasn't too annoying. I've seen much, much worse kids in movies. The daughter, I mean, the actress didn't do a horrible job. Is that she saddled with being the bitchy character for chunks of the film. Nothing you say is final. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, lady, we don't have time for this. I'm not big on the shaky cam stuff. The Tears do a lot of dumb decisions, whether it be Bridget, hey, over here, so I can make you go berserk and run towards the truck instead of you were slowly stalking. Or the bit at the end, yeah, let's not warn them until they get almost too late to warn them. Yeah, let's not take our Jeep and go down there and go around or find a way to get down there. There's gotta be some way. Nah, we're not going to do that because we wouldn't. So it's definitely no Cujo or any of the sort. It's a fairly lousy film. I'm not big on it. Like I said, there hasn't been to be a truly great Killer Lion movie. Again, I guess the closest would be The Ghost in the Darkness, which was okay. It was an okay film. I have issues with that film as well, but it's okay. But yeah, killer animal films. I mean, Jaws is a classic. A Love of Unknown Origin, that's an underrated one. Alligator, Robert Forster, that's a really good one. Cujo, I mentioned. There's some really good ones out there. I like Rogue, that's an Australian one. Razorback, that's another one I really enjoyed. So there's some good ones out there. And that's the thing, like I think of those. I think of like Razorback. This doesn't compare to Razorback, with the way Razorback was shot and filmed and how good it looks and how the creature, the effects work are done on that. Doesn't compare. And I want to get that Blu-ray sometime, Razorback. Now that reminds me, I want to get that sometime. But I think Scream Factory released it. But anyway, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.